welcome to another episode of Ask Rachel. I've got lots of questions for you, but first up, I'm getting things ready to go for PAX next week, and I hope a lot of you go. I know on my Twitter, it seems like a lot of you guys are going to PAX as well, so I just want to go ahead and say that if you see me there, no matter how busy I am, please stop me and say hi. There's nothing better at a convention than meeting you guys, and I'm going to make sure I pack lots of hugs for you. So that if you do come up and say hi to me, I promise to give you a really big, wonderful hug. And yeah, I will be definitely cosplaying. I think I will only be dressing up on Saturday. It's my first time cosplaying at PAX, so I'm a little nervous. I always get nervous when I'm cosplaying at a convention for my first time. And I will be doing Catherine from the game, Catherine. So let's go ahead and get to your questions. First, we're going to start with Mike B. He says, I know you aren't a huge Halo fan, but are you planning on getting Halo 4? I am, actually. You're right. I'm not a huge Halo fan, but they seem to have grown on me a little bit, especially with Reach. I really liked Halo Reach a lot, more than I ever expected to. So I am looking forward to Halo 4 and everything I've seen of it from E3 and everything. It's looking like it's going to be finally my kind of game. Panda Wab asks, what do you think about the Nintendo Gamecube console? Well, that's going back a little bit, not super back, but I actually loved the GameCube. I know a lot of people didn't, but I thought it had some super great games. It had Animal Crossing, Eternal Darkness. It also had one of my favorite Smash Brothers. Of course, it's got Mario Party, Mario Kart. What were some of the other really good ones? Mario Sunshine. How can I forget that? Mario Sunshine's one of my favorite Mario games. Also gave us Pikmin. Luigi's Mansion, which I absolutely adore as well. The GameCube, oh, and Wind Waker. I was one of the people that loved Wind Waker. A lot of people hated it. I adored it from the get-go. It's so much better than the Zelda games we've had on the Wii. So, yeah, I loved my GameCube. Mike K says, are you a fan of Monty Python? If not, why you no like Monty Python? I am not a Monty Python fan. I know, I'm going to get so much crap for it. That's just not my kind of humor. Nobody's getting offended. They're not making dead baby jokes. I like really offensive and dark humor. I like humor that most people find offensive. And if someone's not getting offended in the humor, then chances are I'm not going to find it funny. That style of humor, that kind of like, oh boy, I just stubbed my toe. Everybody's going to laugh. That's not funny to me. It's situational. Some of it was sketch comedy. I hate sketch comedy. And like I just said, I hate situational comedy. I just find that stuff cheesy and stupid. Matt2290910 says, as you said in a video in the past, you're into survival horror games. So saying that, have you ever been into any of the Resident Evil games, and not the new ones, but you liked the older ones? I am one of the few people that like both Resident Evils. I adore back in the old school survival horror Resident Evil, but I also do like the new school kind of fast-paced action shooter Resident Evil. Resident Evil was never one of my favorite survival horrors. That always goes to Silent Hill or Fatal Frame. I wouldn't really classify new Resident Evil as survival horror, but I am looking forward to Resident Evil 6 because I like the idea of combining both gameplay elements. From what I've played in it, both gameplay elements and both controls aren't as good as what I expect they would be, but then again, controls in Resident Evil games have never been their strong point. So yeah, I am one of the few people that like both. I like the direction of both games. JT says, if you were to make the perfect game for you, what genre would it be and what characters and story would you pick? I actually did a video about this specific question. I'll put a little link down here for you. But my perfect game would definitely be basically Mass Effect, Dragon Age, in Firefly Serenity period of time, or storyline, or universe, whatever. It would be a Firefly Serenity game, and it would be RPG, and you would have different party members, and different party members will have different specialties. Like Jane would be the heavy weapons, and you know, this kind of stuff. This is all stuff that exactly pretty much verbatim that I say in the video in the link. So if you actually want to find out the full answer, go to the video. But in short, it would be an action RPG set in the Serenity and Firefly universe. And lastly, Jared says, which game has been the biggest disappointment to you as of recently? I'm going to have to go with both Heavy Rain and LA Noire. Both I thought were marketed poorly. I'm not saying they're bad games, but for what they were marketed as, that's not what the kind of game we got. And for Heavy Rain, I felt it needed actually more gameplay elements instead of just an interactive movie, and where the story and the characters weren't even that solid. And then for LA Noire, it was marketed completely different than what the game was, and I found the gameplay to be almost sluggish and kind of boring. Well, guys, that's it for this episode of Ask Rachel. And remember, if you're going to PAX Prime, let me know, either in the comments or, send me a Twitter letting me know you're going, because I'd really, really love to meet you guys. Remember, on Saturday, I will be dressed up like Catherine, and all the other days, I'll be dressed up like me, which is a pretty easy costume to do. And again, I don't care how busy I look. I don't care unless I am filming at that very moment, which just give me like 2 minutes and I'll be done. But I'm never too busy to meet you guys, like ever. Never too busy. You guys are my first priority. So come and say hi. I'm really nice, and I'll give you a big hug. All right, guys, thank you so much, and I'll talk to you later. Mwah!